public service announcement on Wednesday, May 18th, 2022. And I hope you'll share this with people. I'm feel compelled to get this information out. I was in a very interesting, lovely store with all kinds of great books and food products and herbal teas, and it's just all good. It's all good. And they had one of these essential oil misters, which a lot of Japanese companies are making, and they're from a technological point of view, they work very well. The problem is people don't understand how to use them. The companies that sell them are not educating people how to use them. And I'm afraid people are going to wreck their health with these things. Okay, so what are these? They're basically essential oil misters. And it's like a little device, and you buy the essential oil from the manufacturer of the device, and you put it in the mister, and you flip it on, and it sends out this stream of mist that's infused with essential oils. So there's two things you have to know about essential, well, maybe three, I don't know, there's a lot of things you need to know about them. One thing is it's not all good. Like, they have particular uses for sure, but they're just not universally good in every situation, under every circumstance. Nothing is, right? Too much water and you'll drown. So first thing you need to know about essential oils is just the fact that they're made from plants doesn't mean they're natural, pure, and wonderful. There are many different ways of making essential oils, and some of them are heavily chemicalized and industrialized. Okay? So you just have to know that. So don't just assume that because something's an essential oil, it's going to be wonderful for you. That's number one. Number two is the issue of they're powerful, even if they're made purely and carefully in the best possible way. For instance, the way they're made in the south of France. That's great, but these are powerful things to be used with caution and care. All right, so let's get to the misting business. The best possible thing for you to be breathing is fresh air. Okay? Nothing beats that. No incense, no infused essential oil, nothing. Fresh air. If you can breathe the fresh air of a forest, you're even, or the seashore, you're even better off. But your first goal with your indoor space should not be to be spraying anything in it. It should be, how can I maximize the flow of fresh air through this space? I know this sounds crazy, but since nobody can sell fresh air, or at least not, it's never advertised. Okay, so fresh air is one of the world's greatest medicines. All right, so what about this infuser? The way to use these infusers, if you feel you must, is you open your windows. Do not use them in a closed space. That's number one. Number two, you flip it on for 15, maybe 20 minutes. It will do its magic, and yes, there's definitely magic involved with these essential oils if they're from a good source and they're used intelligently, and it will change the quality of the indoor air. I mean, maybe you have really stagnant air. Maybe there's a lot of bacteria in the air. Under that circumstance, a little flush of some misted essential oil may not be a bad thing. But then after the 15 or 20 minutes, you turn it off. You do not put this thing on continuous play and just keep spraying your indoor environment with these essential oils. Okay? And the next thing is, if you do it, make sure you have some ventilation. And if you don't have ventilation, figure out how to get some, because that's way more important than spraying infused anything into your air. So here's why this is important. Some people already have a thing called chemical sensitivity, and they may have it to a minor, a moderate, a major, or a catastrophic degree. There are people walking around that have this quite badly. So if they come into your space, your store, your home, anywhere, they cannot be in your space because they are experiencing the toxic environment that you are inadvertently creating, and they're experiencing it dramatically. There's a terrible sort of dichotomy with this disease, which I had at one point very seriously. On the one hand, it makes you really aware of all the toxins in the world so that you can get them out of your life. On the other hand, it makes life really, really miserable. So if you are using this infuser, you are actually making life very, very hard and very, very difficult for an admittedly small but significant majority percentage of the population. Now, there are people with moderate degrees of chemical sensitivity. They don't know they have it. All they know is they're getting headaches, or they're getting anxious, or they're getting brain fog. Right? They're not getting the sledgehammer effect of exposure to chemicals. And I'm sorry to say, guys, even though they're from a natural source, these wonderful infused essential oils are chemicals. They may be from a natural source, but they're chemicals. So anyway, there's a small group of people that have acute multiple chemical sensitivity. You're absolutely injuring those people, and injuring them in a major way. And then there's a larger group of people who are affected by these things, but not sledgehammer-like. So they're getting anxiety, they're getting brain fog, they're getting headaches, they're getting dull-minded, and they don't know what the source is. In fact, it may even appear to be pleasant because they're getting kind of drowsy, and that feels kind of nice. Well, toxicity in the brain and drowsiness, which can be one of the results of toxicity in the brain, not a good thing. Not a good thing. So if you have employees, or if you're the boss and you're in that store all day long, and you think this is a good thing, I beseech you, please do your research. Yes, judicious use of infused oils, of essential oils infused in the air may have a positive effect, but absolutely not if you're running that machine all day, and if you're running it in a closed space, not. This is really important. Please share this with as many people as you can. Some of them will be outraged that I have dared besmirch the reputation of the essential oil. But we got to grow up, guys. We really got to grow up and be judicious and thoughtful. Okay, that's the news.